Hello children. Today we are going to discuss about history chapter the Sultanate period or the Delhi Sultans. The Delhi Sultanate is a noble example for the glory of medieval India. Its culture, art and architecture that exist even today is praiseworthy. The Sultans of Delhi ruled for quite a long period of 320 years, during which there were achievements in different fields. So the period from 1206 to 1526 is known as the age of Delhi Sultanate. Many kingdoms, five, ruled over the Delhi Sultanate, and five dynasties were more important dynasties. So we got sources from accounts of travelers and court chroniclers about the sources of information. And Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo visited India and wrote about the conditions during that time. And Ziauddin Barani, Shamse Siraj, um, Minhaj us Siraj gave a detailed account of court proceedings and details about the personal and public life of the sultans. And we have many archaeological sources like coins, inscriptions, and monuments, which tells us about the Sultanate period. And the first and foremost was the slave dynasty. And the dynasties ruled over this is slave dynasty, Khalji. We have Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid dynasty, and last is the Lodi dynasty. So the important rulers of the slave dynasty, Muhammad Ghori. After the second battle of Terrain, he defeated Prithviraj Chauhan and came into throne, and he established the slave dynasty. And his and the first ruler of this slave dynasty was Qutbuddin Aibak. And Gore had left him in charge of the slave dynasty and went back to his to the Ghor, which is presently in Afghanistan. So after the death of Muhammad of Ghori, Qutbuddin Aibak became an independent ruler, and he was a very kind-hearted ruler. He was called as Lag Baksh, or giver of lakhs, because he gave away a lot of wealth as charity. He was succeeded by Iltutmish. So he was considered as the real founder of the Sultanate period because he faced many problems and also dealt with them strongly. And he was succeeded by his daughter Razia Sultan. Ruknuddin Feroz Shah was son of Iltutmish after the throne, and Ruknuddin spent his time enjoying himself, paying little attention to administering the Sultanate. So Razia, with the help or support of the people, became the uh, ruler of Delhi Sultanate. But her span of ruling was very short, and from 1236 to 1240, that is 4 years, she ruled. And because most of the nobles did not um, like her ruling, because they hated to take orders from a woman. And then Balban, Qiyazuddin Balban was considered as the most important and powerful ruler of the slave dynasty, and he wanted people to look up to the sultan, give more importance to the sultan. That's why he introduced the Persian customs of Sizda and Paibos or Zameen Bos. So people were against, as they felt that these customs were reserved for God alone. So you can see this is Qutbuddin Aibak. and this one she's uh, Razia Sultan. Then Khalji dynasty came into uh, power. Then first the ruler was the Jalaluddin Feroz Khalji. He was a weak ruler and he was succeeded by his nephew Ali Gurshar, and he got the title as Alauddin Khalji. And Alauddin Khalji was a very ambitious ruler, and he introduced more controversial policies, and he also introduced the market policies and lowered the prices of all the essential items, and price control for food grains, cloth, sugar, cooking coal, cloth, etc., and other essentials also. And all religious lands were confiscated, and marriages between noble families were sanctioned by the king. So, and the land revenue was also raised and made more efficient. So, thus the emperor enforced a highly centralized system of government, and he also introduced the reforms in the army. The revenue reforms of Alauddin made more money available to him. Then he paid soldiers in cash. So then he became, after the death of the Alauddin Khilji, Tughlaq dynasty came into power. So that first ruler of Tughlaq dynasty was Ghiyazuddin, and he was succeeded by his son John Khan, who took the title as Muhammad bin Tughlaq. And Muhammad bin Tughlaq was very powerful ruler, and we got information, lot of information by Ibn Battuta. So he was a very implemented many ideas and plans, but the common people could not understand his ideas, so they failed. First was the measures he has taken was the taxation in the Doab region. So he increased the revenue collection and raised the land tax in the Doab region. But the timing was bad because it was a severe famine during that period. So he has to withdraw his orders and shift off capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. He shifted his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad, and he renamed, actually it was Devagiri. He renamed Devagiri as Daulatabad, and he asked the population, also entire population of Delhi, to move to Daulatabad. Actually, most of the historians say that why he has shifted his capital. There are two reasons why he has shifted. Because the Sultan felt that Devagiri or the Daulatabad is located in the middle of the empire, so it will be easy for him to rule and control the empire or administer the empire. And second one is the constant attacks of the Mongols. He want to be safe from the, if it is Daulatabad, which made his capital, it will be safe for his empire. But later he realized that it was impossible to keep a watch on northern frontiers from Daulatabad, and again he shifted his capital from Devagiri or Daulatabad to Delhi. And next one was the introduction of the token policy. So in 1390-29, he introduced a token currency, and there was a shortage of silver during that time, but he minted the brass and copper coins, and with the same value of silver. So this was opposed by the foreign merchants, and they did not accept those coins, and he has to give from his treasury. In that way, he emptied the treasury. And also the conquest of Karachi's skin, the northern frontiers of the Sultanate. Muhammad bin sent an army to the Kangra region. After annexing this region, the army proceeded towards the Tibet. It suffered heavy casualties. Then Khurasan expedition, and to expand his empire, he decided to conquer Khurasan in Central Asia. Then he raised large army and spent most of the lot of money on this army, money on weapons. So the soldiers were also given 1 year salary in advance as an incentive. So this also emptied his treasure. Uh, and then because of that emptying of the treasury, he became very unpopular and weak, and because of all his schemes, he lost the trust of his nobles, the ulema, and the people of his empire. And he was succeeded by Feroz Shah Tughlaq, and Feroz the reformer. Feroz Shah was very successful. He built many canals, tanks, wells, hospitals, and rest houses for the people. He founded new towns such as Jaunpur, Ferozpur, Ferozabad, and Hisar Feroza. Then he also set up many educational institutions and also had many Sanskrit works translated into Persian and Arabic. So after the death of Firoz Shah, the empire broke up and became weak. Then the Timur's invasion. The Mongol ruler Timur was the ruler of the large empire in Central Asia, and he invaded India and attacked and looted Delhi. And he also massacred thousands of people with and he went with lot of booty, and beautified his capital, Samarkand, with elegant buildings, palaces, and mosques. And before leaving Delhi, Timur appointed Khizr Khan as his deputy in India, and the Khizr Khan became the first ruler of Sayyid dynasty.